By the time a man reaches 60, testosterone levels have likely dropped by up to 30% compared to his peak years. It's not something you see in the mirror, it's something you feel in the fatigue that creeps in by mid-morning, the motivation that seems to vanish, the drop in drive, the muscle that's harder to maintain, the sleep that's lighter and more broken. And when it comes to bedroom performance, most men chalk it up to age and quietly carry on. But that low energy, the lack of vitality, and even those performance challenges, they're not inevitable. They're biochemical signals. And the good news is they're reversible. What most men don't realize is that these symptoms are often rooted in nutrient depletion and hormonal imbalance, not aging itself. Your hormones, especially testosterone and DHEA, don't just fall off a cliff overnight. They respond to the way you eat, the way you move, how you sleep, and even how you think. And just like you can deplete these hormones over time, you can also rebuild them naturally. That's where food becomes more than fuel. It becomes hormonal information. Now, I'm not talking about miracle pills or expensive testosterone gels. I'm talking about what's already in your kitchen, specifically 3 simple but powerful nuts that have been shown in research to support testosterone production, improve blood flow, sharpen mental clarity, and even boost performance and stamina where it matters most. These aren't exotic superfoods or trendy hacks. They're real, accessible, and backed by science. See, nature gave us everything we need to age with vitality. But modern habits, ultra-processed food, high sugar intake, lack of key minerals, and poor sleep have disconnected us from the most basic truth. Your body is designed to thrive. And one of the fastest ways to reclaim that natural energy and masculine edge is by nourishing your body with the right fats, antioxidants, amino acids, and trace minerals that fuel hormone production and blood flow. So if you've noticed your edge slipping, whether it's mental, physical, or sexual, don't ignore it. Don't write it off as just getting older, because science shows that men well into their 70s and 80s can dramatically improve testosterone levels, mood, energy, and intimacy by making the right nutritional and lifestyle changes. The 3 nuts we're going to talk about today are small, but they pack a biological punch, triggering processes in your body that optimize hormone production, reduce oxidative stress, and increase circulation. And best of all, they do it without side effects. As men age, the slow drop in testosterone is expected. What's not expected or inevitable is how dramatically that drop impacts your daily life. Testosterone doesn't just control sex drive. It also regulates energy production, muscle mass, motivation, mood, and mental clarity. And once you pass 60, your body becomes less efficient at producing it, especially if you're under chronic stress, sleep deprived, or eating a standard Western diet low in micronutrients and healthy fats. The real issue is something called andropause, the male version of menopause. But unlike menopause, andropause doesn't happen overnight. It creeps in gradually. It shows up as brain fog, low stamina, poor sleep, less desire, more belly fat, and a sense that something is off. The root cause? It's not just aging. It's the accumulation of lifestyle choices that downregulate your natural hormone production, combined with the fact that most men are missing the key nutrients required to produce and balance testosterone in the first place. Your body builds testosterone from cholesterol, yes, the right kind of fat, and uses zinc, selenium, magnesium, and healthy fatty acids to fuel that process. Without those inputs, testosterone production slows. And when stress is high, the hormone cortisol starts stealing raw materials away from testosterone, a phenomenon known as the pregnenolone steal. That's why chronic stress and poor sleep can be just as damaging as poor diet. Now let's talk about performance. For most men, blood flow is everything, not just for the heart, but for the brain and below the belt. And here's where it gets interesting. Many of the nuts we'll discuss today contain arginine, an amino acid that's a precursor to nitric oxide, the very molecule that relaxes blood vessels, improves circulation, and enhances erectile function. In fact, multiple studies show that men with higher levels of nitric oxide and antioxidant intake experience better blood flow, improved vascular health, and stronger sexual performance. And there's more. These same nuts support brain health, dopamine regulation, and mood stability, all key elements of feeling like yourself again. When blood flow improves and testosterone gets a natural lift, everything changes. Energy comes back, drive returns, mental focus sharpens, and intimacy becomes less of a frustration and more of a connection again. This isn't about reversing time, it's about restoring biological function. So before reaching for quick fixes or writing it off as aging, start with your plate, because the right nutrients taken consistently send a powerful message to your brain, your glands, and your cells. It's time to produce energy. It's time to repair. It's time to thrive. And it starts with just 3 nuts, the right ones in the right amount every single day. If there's one nut every man over 60 should be eating daily, it's the Brazil nut. Not for the taste, but for what's inside. Brazil nuts are the richest natural source of selenium, a trace mineral that plays a direct role in testosterone production, sperm health, and thyroid function. And here's the kicker. Selenium is one of the most common nutrient deficiencies in men, especially as they age. Why does that matter? Because low selenium levels are directly linked to low testosterone, increased oxidative stress, and poor performance both in the gym and in the bedroom. Just one Brazil nut can contain 90 to 95 micrograms of selenium, which is more than 100% of the recommended daily intake. But it's not just about hitting a number. Selenium acts like a spark plug for the enzymes that produce testosterone in the Leydig cells of your testes. Without it, the hormonal machinery slows down. With it, testosterone production revs up naturally, without synthetic hormones, injections, or gimmicks. There's also the antioxidant effect. As we age, our cells are bombarded with free radicals from inflammation, stress, toxins, and even poor sleep. This oxidative stress damages the very tissues responsible for hormone production and blood flow. Selenium, through enzymes like glutathione peroxidase, helps neutralize oxidative damage, keeping your testosterone-producing machinery intact and firing. A clinical study published in the Journal of Andrology found that men with higher selenium intake had significantly better sperm motility and testosterone levels. Another trial showed that selenium supplementation improved erectile function and libido in men with low baseline testosterone. And we're not talking about mega doses. Just 1 to 2 Brazil nuts a day is enough to bring selenium levels into an optimal range. More than that, not necessary. And too much selenium over time can be toxic. So think of Brazil nuts like a precision tool, not a snack to mindlessly graze on. But the benefits don't stop at hormones. Selenium also supports your thyroid gland, which regulates metabolism, energy, and mood. A sluggish thyroid, something increasingly common in aging men, can mimic low testosterone with symptoms like fatigue, weight gain, low motivation, and depression. Supporting thyroid function through selenium is like flipping a switch on your body's metabolic thermostat, reigniting your vitality from the inside out. And here's a tip. Eat Brazil nuts with a small amount of healthy fat or protein to improve absorption. Pairing 1 or 2 Brazil nuts with your morning protein shake or tossing them into a salad with olive oil helps slow digestion and enhances the uptake of fat-soluble nutrients. They're powerful, but they don't need to be fancy. You're using food as information. And with Brazil nuts, that information tells your body, make testosterone, lower inflammation, and energize your cells. So start simple. 1 Brazil nut a day, maybe 2. It's not a trend. It's not hype. It's one of the most evidence-based, cost-effective tools for naturally supporting hormonal health, performance, and energy after 60. Your body is already programmed to produce vitality. It just needs the right signal. Brazil nuts are that signal. When it comes to vitality, most men focus only on testosterone, but that's just one piece of the puzzle. Real performance, both physically and sexually, depends on circulation and cognition, how well blood flows through your arteries, how efficiently oxygen reaches your brain, and how clearly you can think and respond. And this is where walnuts shine. They're not just heart healthy, they're performance enhancing, brain boosting, and blood flow optimizing. Walnuts are rich in a unique plant-based form of omega-3 called alpha-linolenic acid, ALA. This fat has powerful anti-inflammatory effects, protecting your blood vessels from damage and helping prevent the buildup of plaque that can slow circulation, not just to your heart, but to your brain and other essential organs. Better circulation means better energy, better focus, and stronger, longer-lasting performance, especially in the bedroom. In fact, endothelial dysfunction, poor dilation of blood vessels, is one of the most common causes of erectile difficulties in older men. Walnuts work upstream to support vascular health at its source. But that's not all. Walnuts are also one of the highest food sources of low-larginine, an amino acid that converts into nitric oxide, the key molecule responsible for relaxing blood vessels and improving blood flow. Think of nitric oxide as your body's internal vasodilator. It widens blood vessels, lowers blood pressure, and ensures that oxygen and nutrients reach your muscles, brain, and yes, your reproductive organs. Several studies have found that increased intake of lizargin-rich foods correlates with improved erectile function, increased stamina, and better physical performance overall. And then there's the brain. Walnuts are shaped like a human brain for a reason. They're packed with compounds that protect neurons, reduce inflammation, and support the production of neurotransmitters like dopamine and acetylcholine, which govern mood, motivation, and memory. Dopamine in particular is crucial for desire, drive, and mental sharpness, areas that often decline with age and hormonal shifts. Though dopamine can feel like burnout or lack of interest, but nutrients like those found in walnuts help restore dopamine signaling naturally, keeping your spark alive. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition, Health, and Aging found that men who consumed a handful of walnuts daily experienced improved cognitive function, faster reaction time, and better cardiovascular markers after just 8 weeks. And unlike synthetic supplements or medications, the benefits of walnuts are gentle, cumulative, and side effect free. This is food-based medicine at its best. For best results, aim for about 1 ounce per day, roughly a small handful. You can eat them raw, toss them in salads, mix them into Greek yogurt, or even blend them into a morning smoothie. Just avoid sugar-coated or overly salted versions. The benefit comes from the raw nutrients, not the additives. And one more thing, walnuts also help regulate blood sugar thanks to their healthy fats and fiber, which means more stable energy throughout the day, fewer crashes, and better metabolic health, all of which play a role in how you feel, how you perform, and how well your hormones function. In short, walnuts are more than a snack. They're a daily investment in your circulation, cognition, and confidence. When your blood flows better, your brain thinks better. When your brain is sharp and your body is oxygenated, everything from your workouts to your relationships gets better too. Add them to your daily routine and feel the difference from head to toe and everywhere in between. If there's one nut that's earned a reputation as nature's secret weapon for male performance, it's the pistachio. Behind that crunchy, satisfying shell is a nutrient profile specifically designed to enhance blood flow, improve erectile function, and restore metabolic vitality. In fact, pistachios are one of the few foods that have been directly studied for their effect on bedroom performance, and the results are impressive. Let's start with circulation. Pistachios are rich in L-arginine, just like walnuts, which supports nitric oxide production, the same mechanism that makes medications like Viagra effective. But pistachios offer a natural, food-based way to stimulate vasodilation without side effects. In one clinical trial published in the International Journal of Impotence Research, men who consumed just 3.5 ounces of pistachios daily for 3 weeks showed significant improvements in erectile function, blood lipid levels, and overall sexual satisfaction. No drugs, just pistachios. What makes pistachios so powerful is their unique combination of healthy fats, plant sterols, antioxidants, and amino acids. Together, these compounds lower oxidative stress in blood vessels, improve vascular elasticity, and support the hormonal pathways needed for healthy libido and stamina. And because pistachios are naturally high in monounsaturated fats, they also help lower LDL cholesterol and support heart health, which is directly connected to performance. After all, if your arteries are clogged or inflamed, blood flow slows everywhere. But pistachios aren't just about performance. They also help regulate blood sugar, which is critical for maintaining steady energy, reducing midday crashes, and supporting healthy testosterone levels. Elevated blood sugar and insulin resistance have been shown to impair testosterone production and increase estrogen in men, a dangerous combination for vitality. The fiber, fat, and protein in pistachios help blunt blood sugar spikes and stabilize energy throughout the day. They're also loaded with vitamin B6, a key player in the production of dopamine and serotonin, neurotransmitters that impact everything from motivation and mental clarity to desire and mood. And let's not overlook the psychological component here. When your mood is better, your confidence improves, and when confidence rises, performance follows. Now, how much is enough? Small handful, about 1 to 1.5 ounces per day is all you need. That's roughly 40-50 pistachios. Choose dry roasted, unsalted pistachios for maximum benefit and avoid those with added oils or flavorings. They make a perfect midday snack or post-dinner treat that supports your heart, hormones, and performance all at once. And if you're worried about calories, studies show that pistachios are actually weight neutral or even weight reducing when consumed in moderation. Why? Because they're incredibly satiating. The combination of fat, fiber, and protein reduces appetite, stabilizes blood sugar, and prevents overeating later. This means better metabolic control, which translates into more efficient hormone signaling and better body composition over time. So don't underestimate this little green nut. It's more than a tasty snack. It's a functional food for men who want to take back control of their energy, vitality, and bedroom confidence. One handful a day could be the simplest, most enjoyable way to boost your performance naturally, safely, and deliciously. The right foods, like Brazil nuts, walnuts, and pistachios, are powerful, but their benefits are multiplied when paired with the right lifestyle habits. Think of it like this. Nutrition provides the building blocks, but your daily routines are the blueprint that tells your body what to do with them. Without supportive habits, those nutrients can only go so far. But with the right signals, sleep, movement, hydration, stress reduction, your body doesn't just respond, it thrives. Let's start with sleep, because this is where testosterone is made. Nearly 70% of your daily testosterone is produced during deep sleep, especially in the early morning hours when growth hormone also peaks. Miss that window and you're starting the day already depleted. Just 1 week of poor sleep can drop testosterone levels by 15% or more. That's the difference between feeling motivated and focused or dragging your feet all day. Prioritize 7-9 hours of uninterrupted high-quality sleep. Keep your room cool, dark, and quiet. Avoid screens at least an hour before bed. These small changes unlock hormonal recovery. Next up, hydration. Blood is mostly water, and good circulation depends on proper hydration. Dehydration thickens the blood, slows nutrient transport, and raises cortisol, your primary stress hormone, which directly competes with testosterone for hormonal dominance. Aim for at least half your body weight in ounces of water per day, and more if you're active or live in a hot climate. Add a pinch of sea salt or a splash of lemon to replenish minerals and improve absorption. This one habit can improve energy, mental clarity, and performance almost immediately. Now let's talk about movement, specifically strength training. You don't need to become a bodybuilder, but lifting your own body weight or even using resistance bands stimulates the release of testosterone, growth hormone, and brain-directed neurotrophic factor, BDNF. These are the very compounds responsible for muscle growth, fat burning, cognitive function, and mood stability. Even just 20 minutes of resistance training 3 times a week has been shown to increase testosterone and improve metabolic function in men over 60. You're sending a signal to your body: stay strong, stay lean, stay sharp. And then there's stress management, one of the most overlooked tools in hormonal optimization. Chronic stress keeps cortisol elevated, which suppresses testosterone, disrupts sleep, triggers cravings, and even causes weight gain around the belly where testosterone is converted into estrogen. Just 10-15 minutes of mindfulness, deep breathing, or time in nature can lower cortisol, improve heart rate variability, and rebalance your nervous system. When stress goes down, testosterone has room to rise. Pair these habits with your daily intake of Brazil nuts, walnuts, and pistachios, and you've created the perfect environment for natural hormonal restoration. Your body doesn't need extreme diets, stimulants, or synthetic hormones. It needs the right inputs and the space to recover. These foundational practices turn ordinary foods into potent medicine, and they remind your body that it's still capable of producing strength, energy, and desire, no matter your age. While Brazil nuts, walnuts, and pistachios can absolutely transform energy, hormone, balance, and performance, they're not magic bullets. And like any tool, they need to be used correctly. One of the biggest mistakes I see, especially among health-conscious men, is thinking that more is better. But with nuts, more can actually mean more inflammation, more weight gain, and even mineral imbalances if you're not paying attention. Let's start with portion size. Nuts are calorie dense. That's part of their benefit. They're rich in healthy fats, protein, and key micronutrients, but that density can backfire if you're mindlessly snacking. A few Brazil nuts are great for selenium. A handful of pistachios supports blood flow, but several handfuls a day, you're racking up 300, 400, even 600 extra calories without realizing it. Over time, that can lead to weight gain, which disrupts insulin sensitivity and leads to estrogen dominance, two of the biggest hormonal blocks to healthy testosterone. Then there's the selenium issue with Brazil nuts. Selenium is a powerful mineral, but it's a trace mineral, meaning you only need a tiny amount. 1 to 2 Brazil nuts a day is plenty. Go beyond that regularly and you could enter the territory of selenium toxicity, which comes with side effects like hair loss, fatigue, irritability, and even impaired thyroid function. This is a case where precision matters more than abundance. Think of Brazil nuts like a supplement, not a snack. Another mistake is eating low-quality or highly processed nuts. Many store-bought varieties are roasted in inflammatory oils like soybean or canola oil, then salted, sweetened, or coated with preservatives. These not only negate the health benefits, they actually add oxidative stress, spike blood sugar, and create digestive inflammation, which undermines your hormone function and energy levels. Always opt for raw or dry, roasted, unsalted, unflavored nuts with clean ingredients. And don't overlook individual sensitivities. Some people have nut allergies, which can range from mild bloating to serious immune reactions. Others may be sensitive to oxalates or phytates found in nuts, which in high amounts can interfere with mineral absorption. If you notice digestive discomfort, joint pain, or fatigue after eating certain nuts, pay attention. It doesn't mean you can't benefit from them, but you may need to rotate, soak, or limit certain types to fit your unique biology. And you can't allow you to take anything that comes organic, even a topical form of iron, or your favorite number 1. Finally, don't rely solely on nuts to fix hormonal issues. They're powerful allies, but they work best in the context of a healthy lifestyle. Clean proteins, fiber-rich vegetables, quality sleep, movement, and stress control. You can't out-supplement or out-snack a poor foundation. But when nuts are used with intention, in the right dose, at the right time, as part of a broader hormone-supporting lifestyle, their impact is profound. So enjoy them, but respect them. A Brazil nut with breakfast, a handful of walnuts in your salad, pistachios as an afternoon pick-me-up. Keep it consistent, keep it clean, and keep it in balance. That's how you turn nature's simplest foods into your body's most powerful performance tools. This is about more than just food. It's about reclaiming your vitality, your energy, and your sense of power. Not from pills, not from synthetic hormones, but from what your body is already capable of when it's properly nourished. The truth is, your testosterone didn't disappear overnight. Your energy didn't just vanish. Your bedroom confidence didn't leave without a reason. These are symptoms, not aging. And the good news is, you can reverse them. Start small. 1 Brazil nut in the morning to trigger testosterone production and support your thyroid. A handful of walnuts during the day to feed your brain, sharpen your focus, and open up your blood vessels. A few pistachios after dinner to promote blood flow, stabilize sugar, and support libido while you sleep. These aren't snacks. They're hormone-supported nutrients that send your body a signal. Restore, repair, rebuild. The beauty of this approach is that it doesn't require perfection. You don't need a personal chef or a complicated supplement stack. You need a daily habit, something simple, sustainable, and backed by science. That habit becomes a signal to your body that you are still invested, still alive, still strong. And when you pair these foods with other smart practices, better sleep, more movement, less stress, clean water, and real whole foods, you create an internal chemistry that supports energy, performance, clarity, and confidence. And here's what I want every man over 60 to know. You're not past your prime. You're entering a new phase, one where wisdom meets discipline, where you can live with more strength and clarity than ever before, because now you're paying attention. You're not ignoring your body's signals. You're responding. You're taking control. So start today. Build this habit into your morning, your meals, your mindset. The shift may feel subtle at first, a little more clarity, a little less fatigue, better sleep, more motivation. But with consistency, it compounds, your body will respond. Because biology wants to heal. It just needs the right message. And that message can start with something as simple as 3 nuts a day.